Good morning, students. So in the last class, we started with the third module, which is memory management, and we discussed the basics of memories and the different hierarchies of the memories. And we have seen two types of memory allocations. One is contiguous memory allocation. Second one is non-contiguous memory allocation. Right. So in today's class, we will see what are the different types of addresses and how they are going to be converted from one address to another address, right? So there are two types of addresses. One is called the logical address and second one is called the physical address, right? So in the last class I discussed the logical address is like dividing the hard disk into the partitions, right? So after dividing the hard disk into partitions, you will name those partitions like C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, right? So these are nothing but the logical memories, right? But the actual physical memory or the actual data or the instructions are going to be stored in the hard disk itself, right? So that hard disk is called as a physical memory, right? So for user convenience, we are going to divide that hard disk into the number of partitions like C, D, E and F, right? So that the user can fetch the data easily, right? But when it comes to the computer system, actual computer system, the operating system will look into the physical memory. It is not aware of the logical memory, right? So logical memory is for user convenience, but when it comes to operating system, the operating system will always look for the physical memory. It is not going to be aware of the logical memory, right? So in today's class we will see what is logical address, what is physical address, and how the address are going to be translated from logical to physical, right? So because whatever program or a process we are going to store, that are always stored in logical memory, right? But actual program and process are going to be stored in a physical memory, right? For user convenience, we always pass the data, pass the address of logical memory, right? But when it comes to the computer system, when it is going to fetch the data or code from the memory, so it always calculates the physical address, right? So that physical address is always calculated with the help of the logical address, right? So now we will start the today's class. The logical address is a process. The logical addresses in a process constitute the logical address space of the process, right? So in the last slide, we'll go back to the previous slide. So here we have seen there is a process whose address space is ranging from 0 to 140k minus 1. The size of process is 140k. Let us assume 140k is the size of a process, right? So 140k means it is 140 into 1k means 1024, right? So after multiplying these two numbers, whatever result we get, so that will be the last but one address, okay? Or that will be the size of the process, right? So here the process is going to be stored in a memory, and that memory we call it as a logical memory, right? And whenever the data and the code or instructions are fetched from that logical memory, the computer system is going to convert that logical address into the physical address, because the physically actually we user think that the process are actually stored in a drive, but it is not saved in a drive, it is actually stored in a hard disk, right? So for user convenience, we are dividing that hard disk into number of partitions, but the actual process or program are going to be finally stored, ultimately they are going to be stored in a physical memory, which is called the hard disk, right? So now the logical addresses need to be converted into physical addresses to locate the data as well as the instructions which are stored in a physical memory, right? A physical address is an address in a memory where an instruction or data byte exists. The actual position of data and the code are going to be there in the physical memory, right? The set of physical address in the system constitute the physical address space of the system. This is a set of physical addresses. Again we'll switch back to the previous slide. Here see, this is the size of the process, where let us assume the size of the process is 0 to 140k minus 1. So here this is the logical size of the process, but when it comes to the physical, this logical addresses are going to be mapped with the physical addresses, right? So here in the last class we have seen in while discussing non-contiguous memory allocations, the entire size of the process is divided into number of partitions, number of sections you can say, right? So one section is called as P1, second is called as P2, and third is called as P3, right? So entire process is divided into these three parts, right? And wherever the free space is available in the physical memory, so in that space the particular section of the process is stored, right? So here you can observe this entire process is not going to be stored continuously starting from one memory location to the final memory location, but here it is saved in the form of a part. One part is saved starting from 1000k, second part is stored starting from the memory address 300k, and the third part is stored starting from the memory address 450k, right? So here whenever the particular data or the instructions are calculated from the logical address, so operating system need to calculate first what is its actual physical location. It has to identify where that particular data or the code is existing in this physical memory. So this is nothing but a hard disk or a physical memory, right? So it has to locate where this particular instruction, let us say XYZ, its memory location is 51,488. So this is mapped into the actual physical memory, right? So operating system has to locate where this particular instruction is located. It has to locate where this particular instruction is placed in this physical memory, whether it is placed in P1, whether it is placed in P2, or it is placed in P3, right? So how it is going to be calculated, that we will see later, right? So first at this place you try to understand what is logical address and what is physical address. So now we will try to calculate, or we will try to identify how to calculate the logical address into physical address, right? So in the example 11.9, that is the previous slide example what we discussed in the last class while discussing non-contiguous memory allocation, right? This example itself is a 11.9 example, okay? So here in 11.9, a logical address space of P extends from 0 to 140k, that is the down box, what you can say, the logical memory, while the physical memory extends from 0 to 640k minus 1, right? So here you can see in this, the logical memory is ranging from 0 to 140k minus 1, and the physical memory is ranging from, let us say, the starting address is 0 and the last address is 640k minus 1. This is 600 plus free space is 40k, so 600 plus 40 is 640 minus 1. The last memory address in the physical memory is 640k minus 1, that is 640 into 1024 and subtract 1 from this result. So that will be the last memory location of physical memory. So here data area XYZ in the program of process has the address 51,488. So this is, what is this? We are going to fetch the data which is XYZ, right? Which is XYZ, and it may be either data or a code, right, or instruction you can say, which is located at 51,488. This is what the logical address. This is called, in short I'll write the logical address as LA, that is logical address, right? So this is the logical address of XYZ. 51,488 is nothing but the logical address. The process component P1 in the figure has a size of 50 KB, right? So let me calculate what is 50 into 1024. Just calculate what is 50 into 1024. 50 into 1024 is 51,200, right? But the given address is 51,488, which is greater than 51,200, right? So that means this instruction or this data is not available in the P1 section of process P, right? So the last address of P1 is 100k into 50k. Sorry, 100k plus 50k, which is 150k. 150 into 150 into 1024. So it comes in this range. It falls in this range. So that means the instruction XYZ or the data XYZ is not available in this P1 because its size is 51,200, but the address of XYZ is 51,488, which is greater than 51,200. So that means I have to look into the next section of P, which is P2, right? So now so here this is the logical address of XYZ, which is 51,488. The process component P1 has a size of 50 KB, so 51,200 bytes. So XYZ is situated in component P2 because XYZ address is 51,488, which is greater than 51,200, right? So that means XYZ is going to lie in the P2 component of process P and has a byte number of 288. What is this byte number? So subtract the actual address, the address what we are looking for, which is 51,488, and what is the last address of process component P1? It is 51,200. If I subtract 51,200 from 51,488, what we will get? We will get 288. This is called the byte number, right? So that means I have to locate this byte starting from, let us say P2 is starting from this memory location. P2 is starting from, let us say, A memory location. If it is starting from A memory location, then I have to locate a byte which is 288 byte away from this A. That means I have to add A and 288. So what we will get? The actual physical address of XYZ. Since P2 is loaded in the memory area with the starting address of 300 KB. The starting address of P2 is 300 KB. Just calculate 300 into 1024, which comes around 30,000. 3,72,200 bytes. So this is the starting address of P2, which is nothing but, here I can substitute A is equal to 3,07,200. 3,07,200. This is the starting address of process component P2, right? So to this I am going to add the byte number, right? So after adding byte number to this, what we will get? The actual physical address of XYZ, right? So did you come to know how to calculate the logical address, how to calculate the physical address from the logical address? So if I add these two, what we will get? 8, 2 plus 2 is 4, 7, 0, 3. That means 3,07,488 is the physical address of XYZ, right? So in the previous diagram you can see, it is 3,07,488 is the physical address of data XYZ, right? So user can see this data in a logical address space with the address of 51,488, but it is actually stored in a computer system in a hard disk, or you can say a physical memory, right? With physical memory at this memory location, that is 3,07,488. So what I did here, I converted this logical address into, this is called logical address and this is called physical address, right? So with the help of byte number and the component number, or you can say the starting address of that particular component, we calculated the logical address into physical address, right? So moving to the next slide, here actual conversion is done with the help of a diagram. The same conversion he has not explained with an example here. He has drawn one diagram that how to convert that logical address into physical address, right? So here the kernel will maintain a table of memory allocation information of P, because kernel is going to, operating system is going to allocate memory, that is a resource, to the process, user process, right? So it has to maintain from which address to which address it has allocated memory to that particular process, right? So in this schematic diagram of 11.18 shows how CPU obtains physical address that correspond to the logical address. The kernel stores the information about memory areas allocated to process in a table and makes it available to memory management unit. So memory management unit, as we have already discussed in the first class of this module, right, which will manage the memories allocated to the processes, and it also helps you to convert logical address into physical address, right? So the kernel will maintain the logical addresses of all the processes from where that particular process is going to start, right, and what will be the size of that particular process, right? So that address will be taken by the memory management unit, and it will also take the byte number, the operand address in current instruction, right? Operand address in the current instruction, that will be taken by the memory management unit, and later it will calculate with these two data. From this you can you will get the starting address of that particular segment of a process, and here you will get the byte number. This is byte number, and the first address is the starting address of that particular section, right? So both will be added by the memory management unit, and it will give you the result, which is the physical address of that particular operand, right? So here this shaded portion is memory areas allocated to process, right? So this is the schematic diagram of address translation in non-contiguous memory allocation. This calculation of this memory allocation, memory allocation is not required in case of non-contiguous, contiguous memory allocation, because the contiguous memories are allocated to a particular process, right? But when it comes to a non-contiguous memory allocation, where process is divided in terms of parts, and each part is kept in different places of memory, then in that case we need to calculate the actual physical address of that particular instruction or the data, right? So moving to the next slide. So here how that particular address calculation is done, that is explained here. Okay, the CPU sends the logical address of each data and instruction used in the process to the MMU, and MMU uses memory allocation information stored in the table to compute the corresponding physical address. Just now I explained with that diagram. The same thing I am just reading here. The address is called the effective address of the data or instruction. You can say either effective address or the physical address of data or instruction. The procedure of computing the effective memory allocation from the logical address is called the address translation, right? So we have a logical address as an input, and we are getting the physical address as an output. Then we are going to convert the logical address into a physical address, right? So that conversion is called the address translation. A logical address used in an instruction consists of two parts: the ID of the process, as I already discussed with an example, and ID of the byte within the component. So we represent each logical address pair as component of that particular process, and this is byte. So both are added. Starting address of the memory area allocated to component I, off at